I bought this DeWalt router, trim router, and hadn't had a chance to use it yet. I've got a router mounted on a router table. I use that most of the time. But I got this, and I thought I'd give it a try, so you're going to get my first impressions of this DeWalt router. I already mounted a roundover bit after running through drawers for a few minutes for the correct size wrench. One of my first impressions was that this router is considerably quieter than the larger router mounted in my router table. Hearing protection is still a must, even if you're only going to be using a router for a few minutes. Hearing loss is cumulative, so you want to do everything you can to keep it from even starting. I started on the outside of the double heart, which was cut from 4/4 purple heart. Then I moved to the inside. I haven't used a handheld trim router in some time, and then it was 115 volt, not battery powered. The battery powered model is top heavy because the battery mounts on top, and it takes some practice to get used to that. I stopped the router to check on the roundover I'd already made so far, and was pleasantly surprised to note that when you push the power switch to the off position, this router has a brake and it stops immediately. A 115 volt router close to a stop. The weight of the router is a plus as it helps to keep the bit in contact with the workpiece. As I used it for a short time, I realized I needed to move my grip down lower toward the base for better control. I like it. I'll have to do some more testing on this, but my first impression is this is going to be a handy tool. I haven't done a lot of things that need routing lately, but now that I've got this, it's kind of makes me want to find some things that need routing. That's kind of thing with a tool. Once you have a tool, you want to start using anyway. But that's it's heavy, which it needs to be. You need to hold it towards the bottom, which I wasn't doing at the beginning. But Purple Heart is very hard wood, and it did a nice job on that. And that's a cheap router bit. I bought some because I needed another size. And anyway, first impression, good. I would put this definitely on a list of if you're looking for a trim router. This DeWalt should be on your list of ones to check out.
I almost didn't post this video. I was thinking I'm not an expert on routers, having nowhere near the thousands of hours of experience that I have on the scroll saw. But I did some looking around on YouTube and found plenty of tool reviews from guys that are not professionals. So what you have here is my actual first few moments with the DeWalt DCW600 router, just as I showed my first impression of the biggest scroll saw when I purchased that tool. I'd really appreciate any comments you have in this video. It's short, but I think I made my point that this is an excellent tool, and if you have any doubts about purchasing one yourself, chuck the doubts and go buy one. This video was not sponsored. I purchased the 2-battery kit and charger and got the router for free. How could I pass up a deal like that?